When we talk about the darker side of nuns, we find many dark things and dark secrets that have been perhaps buried for centuries in cryptic halls of churches. Mother Teresa was known for her philanthropic endeavors and her good deeds for the poor and underdeveloped. She was almost like a messiah for the ones in distress, and to this day is remembered as one of the most prominent nuns in history. But even she had a darker side. So let's talk about the secret life of Mother Teresa. What are the unknown things about the woman known for her kindness and generosity? Let's figure it out. Some people have come forward to tell us about their experiences with Mother Teresa. These are some of the former nurses who have first-handedly experienced the dark side of the proclaimed greatness that surrounds the image of Mother Teresa. In fact, one of the most striking things about the new podcast, The Turning the Sisters Who Left, is how some of the former nuns describe their experiences with life behind the walls of Mother Teresa's world-famous order, the Missionaries of Charity, in language reminiscent of the way we talk about cults. Isn't that a paradox to what we think of Mother Teresa? They use terms like isolation and brainwashing. And undoubtedly, these raise suspicions about the actuality. They were only permitted to write home once a month and visit home once every decade. They describe what it feels like to look at a single human, as having a direct line to holiness. Before going into the details of these claims, let's understand the life of Mother Teresa in detail. Mother Teresa's real name was given as Angeze Gonsheboshakshio, and Angeze is a cognate of Agnias. Gonshi means flower bud in Albanian. She was born on 26 August 1910 into a Kosovar Albanian family in Skopje, Ottoman Empire, which at the present is the capital of North Macedonia. She was baptized in Skopje the day after her birth. Also, did you know that later in her life she later considered 27th August, the day she was baptized, her true birthday? She was the youngest child of Nikola and Dranafil Bojakshiu, Bernai. Her father, who was involved in Albanian community politics in Ottoman North Macedonia, died in 1919 when she was 8 years old. He was born in Prizren, which is today in Kosovo. However, his family was from Mirdita, which is present-day Albania. Her mother may have been from a village near Jakova, believed by her offspring to be Bishtajin. Now, do with that information as you will, but it is definitely something to be noted. According to a biography by Joan Graf Klukas, Angeze was in her early years when she became fascinated by stories of the lives of missionaries and their service in Bengal, and as time progressed around the time she was of age 12, she was convinced that she should commit herself to religious life. Her resolve strengthened on 15 August 1928 as she prayed at the shrine of the Black Madonna of Vitina Letnice, where she often went on pilgrimages. Angeze left home in 1928 at age 18 to join the Sisters of Loreto at Loreto Abbey in Rathfarnham, Ireland, to learn English with the intent of becoming a missionary. English was the language of instruction of the Sisters of Loreto in India. She saw neither her mother nor her sister again. Her family lived in Skopje until 1934, when they moved to Tirana. She arrived in India in 1929 and began her novitiate in Darjeeling, in the lower Himalayas, where she learned Bengali and taught at St. Teresa's School near her convent. She took her first religious vows on 24th of May 1931. She chose to be named after Thérèse de Lisieux, the patron saint of missionaries. Because a nun in the convent had already chosen that name, she opted for its Spanish spelling of Teresa. Teresa took her solemn vows on 14th May 1937, while she was a teacher at the Loreto Convent School in Entally, eastern Calcutta, taking the style of mother as part of Loreto custom. She served there for nearly 20 years and was appointed its headmistress in 1944. Although Mother Teresa enjoyed teaching at the school, she was increasingly disturbed by the poverty surrounding her in Calcutta. The Bengal famine of 1943 brought misery and death to the city, and the August 1946 Direct Action Day began a period of Muslim-Hindu violence. In 1946, during a visit to Darjeeling by train, Mother Teresa felt that she heard the call of her inner conscience to serve the poor of India for Jesus. She asked for and received permission to leave the school. In 1950, she founded the Missionaries of Charity, choosing a white sari with 2 blue borders as the order's custom. A controversial opinion that surrounds her life is her opinions on abortion. Mother Teresa singled out abortion as the greatest destroyer of peace today, because if a mother can kill her own child, what is left for me to kill you and you kill me, there is nothing between. While many people these days, including the Christians and Catholics, consider it to be health care, and that is also what it is biologically proven to be, in a lot of cases. Barbara Smoker of the Secular Humanist magazine, The Freethinker, criticized Mother Teresa after the Peace Prize award. saying that her promotion of Catholic moral teachings on abortion and contraception diverted funds from effective methods to solve India's problems. At the Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing, Mother Teresa said, "Yet we can destroy this gift of motherhood, especially by the evil of abortion, but also by thinking that other things like jobs or positions are more important than loving. But the question remains, is it really wrong to destroy a gift? If it harms the mother and the child, or maybe even both of them?" According to a paper by Canadian academics Serge Larive, Geneviève Chénard, and Carole Sénéchal, Mother Teresa's clinics received millions of dollars in donations, but lacked medical care, systematic diagnosis, necessary nutrition, and sufficient analgesics for those in pain. In the opinion of the three academics, Mother Teresa believed the sick must suffer like Christ on the cross. It was said that the additional money might have transformed the health of the city's poor by creating advanced palliative care facilities. Now moving on to the darker side of Mother Teresa's psyche. One of Mother Teresa's most outspoken critics was English journalist and anti-theist Christopher Hitchens, host of the documentary Hell's Angel in 1994, and author of the essay The Missionary Position, Mother Teresa in Theory and Practice in 1995, who wrote in a 2003 article, "This returns us to the medieval corruption of the Church, which sold indulgences to the rich while preaching hellfire and continence to the poor." Mother Teresa was not a friend of the poor. She was a friend of poverty. She said that suffering was a gift from God. She spent her life opposing the only known cure for poverty, which is the empowerment of women and the emancipation of them from a livestock version of compulsory reproduction. He accused her of hypocrisy for choosing advanced treatment for her heart condition. Hitchens said that her intention was not to help people, and that she lied to donors about how their contributions were used. "It was by talking to her that I discovered, and she assured me that she wasn't working to alleviate poverty." He said, "She was working to expand the number of Catholics." She said, "I'm not a social worker. I don't do it for this reason. I do it for Christ. I do it for the Church." Navin B. Chawla points out that Mother Teresa never intended to build hospitals, but to provide a place where those who had been refused admittance could at least die being comforted and with some dignity. He also counters critics of Mother Teresa by stating that her periodic hospitalizations were instigated by staff members against her wishes, and he disputes the claim that she conducted unethical conversions. Those who are quick to criticize Mother Teresa and her mission are unable or unwilling to do anything to help with their own hands. Similarly, Sister Mary Prema-Pirik, the former Superior General of the Missionaries of Charity, also stated that Mother Teresa's homes were never intended to be a substitute for hospitals, but rather homes for those not accepted in the hospital. "But if they need hospital care, then we have to take them to the hospital, and we do that." Sister Pirik also contested the claims that Mother Teresa deliberately cultivated suffering, and affirmed her order's goal was to alleviate suffering. For Des Wilson, who had hosted her in Belfast in 1971, argued that Mother Teresa was content to pick up the sad pieces left by a vicious political and economic system, and he noted that hers was a fate very different to that of Archbishop Oscar Romero of El Salvador. While she got the Nobel Prize, Romero, who attacked the causes of misery as well as picking up the pieces, was shot in the head. Perhaps Mother Teresa wasn't as much of a saint as she pretended to be, and such is the case for many other nuns who oftentimes contribute to malice and dress it up as religion. Who could have thought that there could be such a reality to one of the most famous nuns in all of world history? This only tells us so much about the secrets nuns hold within themselves. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more such informative content.